Hi, this is Mark Birch. I'm going to be analysing and providing revision material for the first part of Jekyll and Hyde Chapter 10, Henry Jekyll's full statement of the case. The final chapter represents the content of the second document that Jekyll instructs Utterson to read. It's described in Jekyll's note to Lanyon of Chapter 8 as the confession of Henry Jekyll, implying that the information contained within the statement will reveal some form of guilt on Jekyll's part. The majority of the novella has been presented from Utterson's narrative perspective, along with Lanyon's in Chapter 9. But this concluding chapter provides the other perspective, that of Jekyll. This allows the reader to witness some of the same events from this different perspective, finally providing understanding and, structurally, representing the duality that's so central to the novella. Jekyll begins his narrative by describing his personal characteristics. He states that he's from a wealthy background, born to a large fortune, handsome, endowed besides with excellent parts, hard-working, inclined by nature to industry, and proud, fond of the respect of the wise and good. Jekyll is clearly vain, with this vanity functioning as one of the catalysts for his desire to engage in the scientific experimentation that leads to Hyde. He wishes to preserve society's respect for him while engaging in the activities that would lose this respect. He claims that his worst fault was a certain impatient gaiety of disposition, a pursuit of happiness that would have delighted many, but which he found it hard to enjoy, given the conflict with his desire for respect. Now, this is a consequence of the Victorian moral idealism that represses emotion and demands restrained public behaviour. Jekyll says that he concealed my pleasures and hid them with an almost morbid sense of shame. The semantic field of concealment is entirely appropriate, with Stevenson frequently punning on the need to hide throughout the novella. Jekyll recognises that this concealment has led to profound duplicity, but even this is presented positively, claiming that the duplicity was the result of the exacting nature of my aspirations rather than particular degradation in my faults. Jekyll's narrative presents himself as the victim of his own virtues rather than the victim of social pressure to repress emotions. Stevenson may be punning on the word duplicity, as its meaning of deceitfulness is clearly applicable to Jekyll's life, as he presents a respectable face to the world while engaging in disrespectful behaviour. However, the word also has an archaic meaning of double, from which the modern meaning is derived. The duality of Jekyll Hyde is, therefore, a form of duplicity, the state of being twofold. Jekyll describes mankind as having a dual nature, based on morality. Man is composed of good and ill, yet he believes that these are separated in him more than in most people. Stevenson describes the separation as a trench, creating an image of a deep and dangerous separation that has severed these moral positions in Jekyll. Jekyll reflects deeply and inveterately on that hard law of life which lies at the root of religion and is one of the most plentiful springs of distress. This seems to be a reference to guilt. He recognises himself as a double dealer, and this introspection produces profound guilt. The scientific studies that Jekyll engages in are described as mystic and transcendental. This is not science in the contemporary sense of the word, but more a metaphysical study that explores the way in which the body is a manifestation of the soul. It's this form of science that so offends Lanyon. However, this study leads Jekyll to the truth that man is not truly one, but truly two. The parallelism of this claim's structure complements the truth of man's duality by representing the claim in a grammatical pairing. Jekyll describes this truth as leading to a dreadful shipwreck, echoing his warning to Lanyon in Chapter 9 that Lanyon's failure to support him could lead to the shipwreck of my reason. Okay, ta.